really struggle with endometriosis, which is the goal is to hit those 4 sessions every week. Women's cycles every day, like I feel like the routines do need to switch it up. No one else is thinking this of you but yourself. Let's just say I procrastinated it. That was fucked. Heart rate. That was a really good sign of progress. 2 bottles of broth, getting the ball. So I'm a naturopath if you're new here. So you know where I'm gonna meet like-minded people is at a gym. My biggest tip to waking up early, protein TikTok. Not telling you to make every snack, every meal protein. But this class is so hard. Good morning and welcome back to a very early rise morning routine. But if you're new here, hello, happy to have you. Make sure you like, comment and subscribe. But we are off to a gym class this morning and I'm a little bit scared because last Wednesday I tried this class and it's a bit more of a hybrid and I'm a strength girly through and through and I did not survive it, like literally did not survive it. I had to go home. So wish me luck. I'm attempting it again. I'm getting over the fear and I'm going to do it again. I was still proud that I rocked up to this gym the next day because I was so new to that gym and oh my god, it was a bad week to try high rocks, or it's not high rocks but it was a hybrid and I'm not a fan of this, but if I could at least do it once a week I think it's really great for my fitness. But I've been doing all the strength classes at this gym every other day, so let's just go tick this off, get it done. Yesterday was upper body day at that gym and it was such a good class, so I just need to survive this one. Hopefully there's not too much. It's not the fact that there's running, it's the combo. We flat out on a ski erg and then running a kilometer. That's what gets me. Oh, we gotta go. 4:58 and my class starts at 5:15. I feel like this new routine has really kickstarted a whole new motivation in me. If you've been following me for a while, you'll know like this year was probably the first year I really like dropped off in terms of my gym sessions consistently. Like life has been busy, but like that's not really an excuse. But also I feel like I just plateaued in my strength training. I really struggled to like want to keep going after years of doing it. I've signed up to an actual gym class, but these roads and where I live were not made for vlogging. What I love about this gym classes that I've signed up to, it's not really like HIIT classes other than today, so once a week on a Wednesday, but obviously I don't have to do it, but I was determined to give it another go. But I love that it feels like I'm training at a gym and there's like PTs there that help you and stuff, and it just feels amazing. I don't know how to explain it, but it is so good. But I also don't have to have the brain power because it does the thinking for me.
The ghetto went as hard as an amaretto. Day and night.
Made it to the gym. What time is it? It is 5:06. Class starts in 9 minutes. But let's get it done. I'm actually really nervous because I really did struggle with this last week. I wasn't lying, but let's get it done. I have been loving the strength classes either way. So I'm also just really proud, and the way I can explain signing back up to classes, for me, they're still strength-based, which I love because I don't want to like go all HIIT classes. Like I'm really glad that's only once a week if I choose to do it. I'm not a fan of HIIT classes with women's cycles every day. Like I feel like the routines do need to switch it up. So I'm really happy with this gym that it's not like that. Honestly, I think I mentioned this briefly in a weekly vlog if it gets put in, but I really struggle with the fact that all my jobs are not isolating, but they're all, you know, I work for myself or I work with clients, or, you know, dance students, but I don't work with like other employees or other colleagues. I miss that social aspect in terms of having a community. But you know where I'm going to meet like-minded people is at a gym. So it's hard to meet people at a gym who are always on their phones, always with their headphones in when you're at those big gyms. But classes, it's like you can't go on your phone really. Like, of course you could maybe, but like I don't touch my phone for this whole hour in the morning, and I chat to people that I never would have met before. So it is so fun to build a community that way, which is why I'm currently loving it, and I'm 1 week in. So let's see if we can stick with it. But what I love is the 5:15 classes, because oh my god, it's getting me up, it's getting a pep in my step, it's making me eat earlier, it's making me do all the things that are good for me. Oh, I did it. Got it done, people. That was fucked. Heart rate 168. Got up to 183. That was cooked, but I cannot believe I actually survived it this time. Made it through all 10 exercises. I know that doesn't sound like much, but that also involved 3 kilometers of running. Go, go, go. Burpees, the ski erg, and the 10 calories on the assault bike. That is literally bike assault. It is nuts. Anyway, I'm gonna go home and I will chat to you then, because this heart rate is not going down. But it is currently 6:22 and your girl has already worked out. Let's get it. Shower. I was really hoping we would get a nice sunrise this morning, but maybe it's still peeking through. Anyway, I'm gonna put on my makeup and kind of get ready for clinic, and then smash out a bit of like uni work on my laptop before I head in, and potentially film a video and make breakfast and another coffee. So it's all gonna happen. I want to show you what I got at TK Maxx, my new favorite place. At these little cherry on my vanity. So cute. I've got my little beauty blenders yet. Probably my rings and bracelets when I want to put them on, but she's so cute. I still am so obsessed with my vanity, and I appreciate all the comments that said you love my vanity too. My hair needs a wash, but I'm also trying to push it out. But I feel like it just went so flat from the sweat on my roots this morning. Anyway, never thought I'd see the day again where I was signing up to classes, but man, it feels good. Anyway, should I chat you through what I'm gonna put on my face? Previously tried out Maybelline 30 Hour. Let me say, I feel like this shit does last, and it's very matte, so I like to switch it up if I want a matte look or not. But today I will purely just use my Kosas BB, which I absolutely love. I already have a spare. I might even put a bit of zinc on underneath. I've been starting with the Milk Gripping Hydro Primer, and I really like it. But comment below how everyone else is feeling about training. Are you a morning routine person, or have you clicked on this video to become a morning routine person? I personally feel like I've always been like, I have to work out in the morning, otherwise it just doesn't get done. Like, I might convince myself I'll do it in the afternoon or nighttime, but it just does not get done. But 5:15 is definitely new. Like, I've done that in years ago, but I would say the only time I train is only like a 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. But these classes and booking them in, that motivation and like paying for your class is like no other. It literally gets you out of bed. And I'm feeling really good. Mind you, I go to bed at 8:30, 9 p.m. latest. So like my sleep is still good. Comment below if I should get an Oura ring. You guys are just enabling me to buy things, but I would love an Oura ring, not only to like track hormones, like I said earlier on. I don't really enjoy basically what I did today, like HIIT classes every day or every week for women's cycles. So I purely will only be booking in the HIIT kind of class. It's called hybrid, on once a week, which is a Wednesday. But if I was on my period, things like that, or leading into my period, and I needed the rest, I would totally drop it. But strength training is really great. So I'm a naturopath if you're new here, which is why I'm heading into clinic today, because I am on my last few blocks of like placement before I fully go out on my own. So as a naturopath, I really work with people's hormones, with my own hormones, and I've been struggling recently with a bit of, I guess, an endometriosis flare up. and I had an ultrasound done yesterday, so I was actually really nervous going into today, not because I've had an ultrasound yesterday, but because last week when I had my flare-up, I did end up in hospital, and then I kind of recovered and I did the HIIT class and it was awful. I got the pain, and if you don't know and if you're wondering sometimes why you might get that extreme excruciating pain in like your pelvic, oh my gosh, there's definitely an underlying hormonal problem there, but also it can really involve your pelvic floor. So I'm actually going to book in and work with a pelvic floor specialist to help with my endo, because when I exercise, if you suffer with this kind of thing, it can produce extra prostaglandins, which increase that pain, making you go to the toilet and things like that. It's like an inflammatory response. So I think that's what happened to me last time that I did this hybrid class, because I had to leave the class. I was either going to vomit or I was so nauseous and I was in a lot of pain and I wasn't on my period. So I think coming off that bad flare-up, I had released a lot of inflammation in my body, in my pelvic floor, and it was really, really painful to get through because it was such a high intensity class. So I was really nervous going into this one, scared that I was going to get that pain again. And I will say I got a little like trickle of it during the class, and I just slowed down one of my exercises and backed off a bit, and I made it through my class and I feel good and I don't have pain now. So that was a really good sign of progress for me, and I'm really glad I did push myself to get back there when I was ready. Keyword, when my body was ready. I also ate beforehand, which if you know me, I don't eat at 5 a.m, but I knew going into such a high intensity class I needed some quick carbs, so the banana was perfect, or I'd have like a honey on rice cake, whatever you feel like. And then I'll show you my actual proper meal. Probably in about an hour is when I will eat my like protein oats. How do people do this? I can't talk and do my makeup. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with my training and why I tried the hybrid class again. Like, it was so embarrassing, not for anyone else, no one probably was embarrassed but me, to have to leave that class last time. But you bet, I literally booked into the strength class the next day, because I thought if I don't, it's like when like people, if you watch the Molly May documentary, or like when people say if you fall off the horse and if you don't get back on, like obviously if you're not injured, but if you don't get straight back on, you'll never get back on again. So I booked in that class straight away despite being embarrassed, because I thought if I don't go back the next day, I might never go back. So I have gone back ever since, and I feel really good about that. If that's just, also if you're scared to sign up to a new gym, a new class, you literally just have to do it. You have to push past that fear, and you have to remind yourself no one else is thinking this. Like, no one else is thinking this of you but yourself. Signing myself up, I hadn't spoke to anyone, I hadn't contacted anyone, I literally just booked in on the app and rocked up. And that is nerve-wracking, but it literally lasts for 0.2 of a second when you're there, and then it's over and everyone is so welcoming. So don't let that hold you back, and let this be your sign. As a girly who's been going to the gym for years and years, signing up to a new class does not make it any easier, but it does make you more resilient, more confident, and you're gonna make progress. I hope that was your morning pep talk to go join the class you've been wanting to do, or the gym, whatever it might be. Go on that run. I'm gonna speed up my makeup and I will chat to you in a moment. We are ready, and it is 7:23. I just smashed out the morning. All right, and I got to take my time, which is really, really nice. Another bonus to doing my workout class at 5:15 is I've been able to actually like have my still like soft girl mornings in a way. So it's like grind mornings and soft girl combined. So if you watched my recent soft girl reset, you get the vibes. Basically, I try and combine both, but yeah. Oh, the hot air balloons are out. I feel like they look so pretty, but my window is so dirty. But basically I can see all the hot air balloons in the sunrise out from my window, and it's just stunning. So that made me very, very happy. I actually have an obsession with seeing the hot air balloons in the mornings. But anyway, basically so far we are romanticizing our mornings while also being like productive and getting back into routine, things that are going to release all the endorphins and actually make us feel good as well. So see what works for you. Doing it justice, but it is stunning. Let's put our little slippers on. some invoices and emails, and then I'm going to kick start on this assignment that I'm also hoping to film either today or tomorrow. I have to hand it in this week. It's such a big assignment, and let's just say I procrastinated it a lot. Might as well use this morning while we're on a roll and we're up nice and early. I don't have to be in clinic until 12 o'clock. I've decided I need a bit more, what do they call it? Liquid courage, liquid motivation, but it's not alcohol, it's coffee. All right, I should probably show this. I got distracted making my coffee because we got a pressure cooker, and so I've meal prepped all this chicken and broth overnight for Eugene, and then we also use the broth ourselves, but I'm gonna try and pour it into some bottles and pop it in the fridge, and then I'll have my coffee and get back to study. But we try and do this like probably nearly twice a week. We make broth and meal prep all of the chicken, and we used to do it in a big pot, but now that we have this pressure cooker, it's honestly incredible. So let's do it. 2 bottles of broth. One of my favorite things to do as well is with the broth is make bone broth rice. Tastes amazing. And work stint time. Really been loving. You saw I've used tiger nut milk in my coffee, and it actually tastes delicious. I love the nutty flavor, but the reason why I'm using tiger nut is because I was trying to just reduce my dairy intake for a bit of my skin to see if it helps clear up a little bit, and with my endo flare up I had, but I'm not cutting it out. Like, I'm not trying to cut out dairy full time. Like, it's just minimizing and seeing where I go, why am I puffed? But so I've started to have less like full milk in my coffees and just have it as a treat every now and then, or maybe once a day, but have tiger nut or a long black as you saw this morning. But the tiger nut milk, why I love it is because the ingredients in it are so good. I've been finding it at any health food store, but I hate to be that person, but as a naturopath I feel like it's my duty to give advice, is to check the back of the labels when you're getting like your oat milk, almond milk, soy milks. They have so many added additives, preservatives sometimes, and oils. Like, their oils are like canola oil, just unnecessary ingredients in my personal opinion. So that's why my choice of when I was reducing dairy was either just long blacks, like no milk at all, or tiger nut milk, because there is no bad ingredients in the tiger nut milk. It's literally just like the tiger nuts, a little bit of olive oil, which is great source of fat, and lots of added B vitamins, which we love. So that is why I have switched to tiger nut milk if you see me using it. But honestly, give it a go. Like, it tastes delicious. Even if you're making smoothies, the tiger nut milk in a smoothie is so good. But yeah, anyway, I'm probably telling you all this to also procrastinate from my assignment. So let's get a solid work stint done. I know I've briefly mentioned before, but if you have a timer on your phone, but if you want to like not use your phone, I highly suggest getting a timer cube. It is so helpful. Let's do it. This morning's dopamine and this second coffee, we're making good progress. Currently 8:30 on the dot. I think this morning getting the ball rolling, getting my workout done actually makes you more productive in your work. And I know you don't have to be a morning person, but it does have a flow-on effect, and it feels amazing to be getting shit done straight after your workout. You're ready, you're not rushing, all those things. If you're wondering what assignment I'm doing, I'm actually doing an entire oral presentation on endometriosis, which is quite fitting considering I was talking about that earlier on. 9:20, and I have done such a solid work stint that I'm so proud that it's time to take a little rest, because soon I will be heading into the city. So let's go make breakfast. You guys have seen me make my protein pancakes recently, but today, since it is cold, I'm feeling like my protein oats, which if you're an OG on here, you know I've made them so many times, but let's make them together. All right, so we're gonna do 50 grams of oats. eat my oats and watch a bit of YouTube. But this is the time of day where if I was having my oats, I would normally sit outside and try and get some like vitamin D, sit in the sun. Even though you're seeing a bit of sun, it's quite cold and I guess cloudy out there. So I'm just gonna stay cozy inside. I do highly recommend anytime you can in your day, which I'll probably try later on, just get like 15-20 minutes outside in the sun, fresh air. It makes a world of a difference on your mental health. Vitamin D is so important. So I'm gonna sit, let's see what's on YouTube. That is my guilty pleasure. As much as I know when you're eating, you should probably just sit in silence, eat your food, focus on proper digestion. I do have a guilty pleasure of watching YouTube when I have some free downtime to eat my food, because I feel like it just helps. I don't know, I just love when I get to do this. So that's what I'm doing. It also keeps me inspired to keep filming for you guys. So I do really love YouTube. I enjoy it. It motivates me to create. It gives me inspiration. And I get to sit and just relax before I get back into work, and then I'll head into clinic as well. These oats look really good today. So this is about 45 grams of protein, fiber from my oats. It's really good. Highly recommend oats as well if you're going through menopause. I'm sure not many of my followers are going through menopause, but a fun fact, it is really beneficial for that. So a great meal to also have leading up into your period. But I feel like it's also the perfect post hybrid day meal, because that was quite the workout. Yum. I used to add so many more toppings, but now it's literally just my berries and dark chocolate. Not only is dark chocolate a great source of magnesium, but like 90% dark choc, it's just so good. It's just cacao that has its own benefits like magnesium, but there's just no added like sugars and kind of BS in my morning protein oats. So I just know it's like a great source of carbs, protein and fiber. Post-workout, of course, you should have like protein, and there used to be this thing like try and get your protein in within a 30-minute window. I don't think that matters. I think as long as your first meal of the day, especially after a workout, is containing a decent amount of protein. And for me, I always try and aim above 30 grams per meal, because otherwise it is really hard to hit your protein intake throughout the day. Now, I'm not on the side of like protein TikTok, because I know that is currently a bandwagon. So I'm not telling you to make every snack, every meal protein based. Just have protein in your meals. It's an essential amino acid that we need to not just build muscle, but to recover and to be able to also function properly in our brains. It's so good for everything. If we don't have our protein, we don't have our building blocks for our brain, for our body to function daily optimally. So get your protein in, get your carbs for energy, and replenish them after a workout. Today's workout was so intense for me, and then tomorrow I'm booked back in for a 5:15 strength training. So I'm really on a roll at the moment, and the goal is to hit those 4 sessions every week. So I'm doing 1 upper, 1 lower, 1 full body, and 1 hybrid, and that's my 4 sessions. And on the other days, I just try and get my steps in. So like on the weekend, I'm always going for a walk and things like that. So that is the new schedule that began last week. So not tooting my own horn, we are still only week 2 in this, and the true test will probably be when I hit like week 8 if we are still hitting this. So maybe we'll do another early morning routine soon, and I'll let you know how I'm going. But it's 10:40 and I'm going to head on the tram into the city for clinic day and clients very soon, probably in the next 20 minutes. And get there about 12 o'clock. But I'm gonna pack a couple of snacks. I'm not gonna pack a whole meal because it's a half-day clinic. I've filled up on my protein oats. I'm just gonna pack good like high-fat, high-protein snacks to satiate me, and then I'll come home and have dinner. But watch my what I eat in a day recent video, because it's very typical of this day. I think I actually filmed it on a Wednesday. I think today, because I've got this papaya, I'm gonna make a bit of a fruit salad. My little snack box, as you saw. Just lots of fruit, kiwi and papaya, which is great vitamin C and just a great nutrient carb source to keep me kind of energized throughout clinic. Plus there was a beef stick in there, so a bit of protein and fat, and some nuts, good for the hormones, my Brazil nuts. If you watch my what I eat in a day, you will also know what I'm talking about. And water. I'm filling up my second bottle. I have a goal. I need to try and get like 3 of these in. It is actually so hard to get your water intake in sometimes, but it shouldn't be. But like if you're here with me, it is. Hydration is so important, especially for like, you know, helping our body detox stuff out, our waste and things like that, staying hydrated on a cellular level, which is why you saw me have my salt this morning, which I talk about all the time, because especially I use filtered water, which is a alkaline filter, so it naturally takes out everything. So it takes out even the good minerals, which is why I have Celtic sea salt to replace my trace minerals and get those like electrolytes back in. So hydration is key, and I'm just being honest, I need to do better at getting more in. Anyway, I'm gonna put these in my bag. I hope you enjoyed this new morning routine. It was a very early start, 4:30 a.m, which I'm not saying it needs to be that early, but this is just what worked with my new schedule, with my classes, and getting back into routine. And it's really helping me, probably more mentally than physically. I really struggled with this mindset around being slack in the gym recently, so this has helped me immensely, and I'm really loving it and really thriving. So I'm excited to not only get physical progress as well from kind of increasing my strength load again, but also just mentally. I think it makes a huge difference. So this is your sign: book the class, go on the run, or get to the new gym. If I was to give one tip to getting up earlier, it is setting out your gym clothes the night before. I had them out ready to go, so I know I just wake up, wash my face, helps wake you up, and put your clothes on. That gets you out the door pretty quick. It takes out so much time, so much brain power of thinking what to grab. So that is my biggest tip to waking up early. You actually have to put in the work the night before. That being said, I hope you enjoyed this productive morning routine, and if you did, make sure to leave me a like, comment, and subscribe, because I appreciate it so much, and I love growing this channel. And I'll see you in my next video, as I post every single week. But as always, lots of love from Lilybelle Lives.